Good morning, Anna.
Hi, Pilar. How are you?
I'm good.
That's good. Let's see.
Hi.
Sarah Cunningham. Oh, I'm going to make you
I think I need to put the
co-host.
background.
There's a few people. Make co-host. There's a few people there waiting.
I can barely hear you.
Ah,
Okay,
is
this is fine now.
that microphone mine or yours is okay?
I think it's mine, my speaker.
I'm gonna edit these people. Hey, Sarah, how are you? Oh, I'm good, thank you. You are muted and I cannot hear you at the moment.
Oh, that's probably for the best. My voice is non-existent almost.
Hi, Peter. How are you today? Peter has turned off his mic and his camera. These things are always so much fun, living in this online environment where people can now have a lot of control over whether they're seen or whether they are not, which is always a bit of fun. Great. So we're going to give people just a little bit more time. We had about 35 people register for today. So we'll see. And we've only had a couple say that they can't come along. So we'll give them another couple of minutes. But maybe in the meantime, I'd love to hear from you guys. Why did you decide to join and what would you like to get out of today? You can type that in the chat if you don't want to talk. Peter, can you hear us? Maybe pop in the chat, yes, if you can hear me. I just want to make sure that you are there. Hello, Ian. Hi, nice to see you again.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. We were just checking in with people while we're waiting for a few more to join us around why did they decide to join me today and what would you like to get out of today?
So you want me to answer that now?
Yeah, go for it, Ian. I just threw you straight into the deep end. We're waiting for Sarah and Peter to respond maybe in the chat, but I'd love to hear from you.
To be honest, I haven't thought hugely about it. I've started up, recently started another not-for-profit organisation. There's a lot of social media posts and things going up, and I guess I'm looking for some guidance on how to maximise the exposure for that. We've got our launch event next tomorrow week, and so I'm just looking for experts. This is not my background. I've just so I'm looking to learn.
Yeah. Great. Thank you for sharing that. And Sarah, what about yourself?
I am a little bit in the same boat as Ian. I'm only new with the business. I've been there, I think this is my 4th week.
Great.
But I am taking over all their social media. So any kind of guidance would be great.
Okay, perfect. And Peter, I'm not sure if Peter is there at the moment or not, but you know what, we're just going to get started. And if people join us later, that is on them. So first, I want to really just discuss around, why should we repurpose content? Flintt is really there to help increase your visibility and your reputation by helping our users create more content with less effort by repurposing the content that we create. So effectively, we're really just saving time and implementing a simplified marketing process. So at the moment, what we know is it can take up to 6 hours to write one piece of copy. That piece of copy can be a blog, it can be an article, but it takes a long time. By the time you do research, by the time you learn how to write an effective blog, then you write it, once you've got the content, all you can really do with it is you can put it on your website and you can put it onto your LinkedIn articles. If you put that same exact piece of content anywhere else, you're creating duplicate content online, which is going to work against your search engine optimization, which is why we write blogs in the first place. It's for the business and visibility purposes. Obviously, we write blogs because we want to share valuable information and connect with our ideal customers, but also blogs are there specifically online to help us rank higher on Google so that we can answer very specific questions that our potential target markets might ask, right? And so at the moment, if all you're doing with this, putting it on your website, you may as well just throw that content in the bin, because you're wasting a mountain of content that you are sitting on. So what we're going to look at today is we're going to talk about why most people actually waste the opportunity to repurpose their content. We're going to look at how you can streamline your content creation for maximum output with minimum effort. So there's a bit of learning here for you guys. We're going to talk about Flintt and how it works, and then we're going to do a live demo, and we're going to get you guys to play along so you can have a go at using Flintt. And then what we'll do is we'll make the next time for you guys, maybe do a one-on-one onboarding session to make sure that we can implement Flintt as a viable product within your businesses. So essentially, if you have content within your business, which everybody who has a business or a not-for-profit organization has information. So whether you've done a keynote, you've recorded a video, written a book, created any sort of IP framework for your business, done any lead magnets, written any blogs, all of this is content. And most people are sitting on a mountain of content and they're just wasting it because they're not thinking about how can we leverage the content that we're writing for the purposes of repurposing so that it can be reimagined across multiple platforms and leveraged to save you time whilst making you visible and increasing your reputation and your revenue. Now, the reason why we're focusing on social media and email is because we currently know that there are 4.7 billion people, so 59% of the total population are currently active social media users. So it makes sense that we need to be visible. Now, when we talk about this, a lot of the questions that come up with people is, how do we make this content more engaging? How do we get content that converts more effectively? Which are all very good questions. But the number one thing we need to do is make sure that our social media is populated with content at the very minimum. And what happens is most business owners, we know that 47% of business owners do their own marketing. And so what ends up happening is most just don't actually post. And so when your particular ideal clients or your target market head over to your social media channels, if there is not consistent information going up on them, it makes you look like you are not a real business, which reduces your potential for trust within your customer base. And so at a minimum, we need to have content that's out there. Now, the other thing that we found within the statistics, specifically from this year, is that the top 3 platforms are still Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And so it's imperative to be visible on these platforms. The questions that I usually get asked is, but what if my audience are on LinkedIn? The thing is the people who are on LinkedIn are also on Facebook and are also on Instagram. And so the idea is to have those conversion conversations on the platform that your audience wants to talk to you on, but be visible on all the top 3 platforms. And also, if you're looking to do any form of advertising, it's always Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn are your top 3 spaces to advertise. And when somebody goes from your ad to your social media account, you need to have content. So Flintt was developed to help populate that content at the click of a button. To give you a bit of insight for those that I have not as met yet, my name is Anna Osherov, and I really do believe that technology does enable the individual to make a global impact. I want to share with you where the vision of Flintt came from. So my whole background is in marketing and comms. I studied communications and completed my degree in 2003. And since about 2006, I was working directly with business owners to help them be visible, to help them build their footprint online. And 2018, I opened up a business event venue. And from the business event venue, I was teaching people how to do marketing, how to market their events, how to build their reputation, how to be visible online, so that when somebody's making a decision on whether they should or shouldn't come to your event, basically dedicate their time, which is the most precious asset that they have, to spending time with you, you need to show that you are trustworthy and that you are visible. And so I would teach people how to repurpose their content through a checklist and a strategic marketing training approach. You know what? People still weren't leveraging that. They weren't doing it. And the reason why we realized they weren't doing it is because it becomes too hard. Essentially, what we went out to build is 3 different products. We went out to build a product that will do email marketing. So similar to MailChimp, where we'll actually send out emails to your current database. We set out to create a product that does content creation. So imagine a cross between Canva and an actual team member who's writing the content for you and then repurposing the content. And then we went out to create a social scheduling tool, which enables you to put the content straight out, both by email and via social media. And then we brought it all into one, and we called it Flintt, because Flintt ignites the fire, which is what we look to do for our users. And so as we were walking through this process, what we realized is content repurposing is really the key. Now, for those that don't know what content repurposing is, and this is a quote from HubSpot, content repurposing, sometimes called content recycling, is reusing existing content and presenting it in new formats to expand its reach and expand its lifespan. So really, the whole purpose of it is to not just create content, but always think about how can you create new content in a way that automatically plans for a variety of different ways to share that content on multiple platforms. And that's essentially what content repurposing is. Now, content repurposing is a bit of a slow burn in Australia. We know that in the United States, it's a lot more popular to really leverage your content and save yourself some time. And we're really trying to pioneer this in the minds of content creators, so business owners, leaders in organizations, not-for-profit organizations, but really learning to pioneer the thought process of how can we repurpose our content. And the traditional way of repurposing content, and this is what we used to teach people, is leveraging video to blog or article to podcast to social media and then scheduling it across. And currently, to create this, we need to leverage at least 3 to 4 different platforms. Flintt is bringing this all together under one roof. So what content repurposing then looks like is, if you can write your blog over here, you can then repurpose that blog with multiple different social media posts by using the content that's right here. You can create, then you can schedule it across LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, so that your LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram look great, and then bring it all together into an email format so that you can connect with your audience, which basically means that one video or one blog can then be recreated and reimagined across multiple platforms. So that's the traditional way. But again, as I said, teaching people this, I literally used to give people an overview of exactly how to do this. And you know what happened? Not much. People would look at it, they'd take it, they'd go, this is great, and then they would do nothing with it. And so we built Flintt. Flintt is there to help you create more content with less effort by automatically repurposing your content and really simplifying the marketing process through both a strategic AI process and by recutting and creating images. I'm going to show you a quick video about how Flintt works. bit of a demo video for Flintt. Now, what I'd like to show you is how Flintt actually does what it has been developed to do. So it uses long form copy such as a blog or an article and automatically repurposes it into social media and email marketing content. The way that it does that is really quite simple for our users. Our users need to enter the copy into our content form. Now that's currently how Flintt works. By early next year, we're going to be leveraging AI writer to be able to populate this information for you, so you don't even need to write this information in. However, I still believe that it is best for the person whose business it is, or the person whose organization or company it is, or who's looking after marketing, to actually write the content. So once you've written the content, you need to put it into our content form. And then what Flintt will do is all of this. So Flintt will automatically create your email for you. Flintt will automatically create the creative. So each of these images were created directly inside of Flintt. Flintt will then schedule it onto your Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. It will then track it. It will report on it, and it will provide you your best performing social content and email content, so that over time, our AI technology can actually help you understand what's working best for your business and in your industry, and support you in creating even more engaging content, so that you can go out there and do what you do best, which usually is not content creation. And if it is content creation, then you can do it faster and smarter, and then work more towards creating strategy and conversion tactics, rather than sitting there and creating the posts. So that's essentially how Flintt will work. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to give you guys a live demo. So for those that are able to jump on their computers and follow along, please do. And for those that are watching, you guys can watch. But I would love to encourage you to please connect with us. We've got a Flintt community, which is growing week by week. And inside our Flintt community, we share more information on how you too can be effective in your content creation. I'm going to put the link to our Flintt community group into the chat there. I'd love you guys to click on that link and join our Flintt community group, because we want to make sure that we stay in touch, whether you become a Flintt user or whether you are here to learn how to more effectively and impactfully create and leverage content. The Flintt community will support you in being able to do that more effectively, you and or your teams. All right, so that is a quick introduction. I'm going to check in. Does anybody have any questions so far? If you do, you can either unmute yourself or pop them in the chat, or if you don't, just pop no in the chat so I know that you guys are all here and with me. Great. Thanks, Sarah. Thanks, Ian. Thanks, Pilar. Peter, Jeff. All good. All right, fabulous. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a look under the hood of Flintt, so that you can get, I guess, a better understanding of how all of this works. And then we're going to get you guys to actually get your hands dirty and play around by yourselves, following along with me. So I'm going to jump us on to here. And we're going to start off with giving you a bit of an insight into Flintt. So when we first join up with Flintt, or when you first join up with Flintt, Flintt will encourage you to follow 4 steps. The 4 easy steps are to set up your branding. And inside of your branding, you can choose colors, templates, logos, etc. And then it's going to ask you to connect your social media profiles, so you can link your Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Our Google account is on its way. Then it's going to ask you to upload your contacts, so that your contacts are here, and we are working on an API for your CRMs. And then it's going to ask you to set up your billing, which will then enable you to post. But Flintt has been created and developed so that it is possible for you to try it before you buy it, I guess. And that's called a bit of a freemium model. Now, the way that this works is once you've set up your branding, you've set up your social media accounts, you've uploaded your contacts, and you've chosen a plan to go with, we then go into what's called campaigns. Now, the way that campaigns work is you're asked to first of all start off with a new campaign and fill out this content form. Now, this particular content form is specifically for repurposing your blogs or articles. So what you'll find is you'll have this form here, which will give you the start date for your campaign. And you can actually pre-create up to 6 months worth of campaigns ahead. Each campaign lasts for 30 days. And within each campaign, you have up to 5 social media posts and 3 emails to go out to your audience. Now, what happens is once you've decided on your date and start time, you basically fill out this content similar to what you see in here. So you've got a blog or article title, you've got the introduction and overview, you've got your heading, subheading 1, and information about your subheading, subheading 2, description about that subheading, subheading 3, etc. And you can essentially go up to 10 different subheadings. And then what you do is you put in your conclusion, you select the social media accounts you would like to connect your content to, select your contacts, choose the background images, and then press start campaign. Once you've done that, what happens is Flintt starts to what we call propagate our campaign. So it will take that information, like we've done right here, and this is the same blog that you see there, is it will take the information and it will automatically create an email that goes out to your audience. And once it's out, it will report on that email. So you've got how many people have opened it and how many times. So you've got a reporting on performance for those emails. It will then create creative. So it will create an automated title post, a list post, a content post, and a couple of opportunities for manual posts. And this is what they look like. So if I head over here into edit, what Flintt has done is it's created what's called an automated list post, which basically means that it's taken the heading and the subheadings as well as the conclusion and created a written content post for you. It has scheduled it across Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn on this day. And it has created the images for you. Not only has it created this image, but it has also pre-generated multiple different images based on your logo, on your subtitles, on your social media handles, and it's given you lots of options and opportunities for content repurposing. And then once you've gone through this process and basically clicked here to send out the information, what will happen is Flintt will then automatically put this content onto your Instagram. So you can see that these are all images that have been pre-generated by Flintt. Not only that, they were posted by Flintt. The copy here was repurposed from the content that you have written, and it has your branding, your social media handles, and aligns with your information. So you can see that that's gone on to the Instagram automatically. It has gone out onto our Facebook page. You can see all of our photos here. And it's gone out onto our LinkedIn content as well. And all of this took us about 15 minutes to create, repurpose, schedule, and have it out there for our community to see, which means that at any time, if somebody jumps onto any of the Flintt social media, they will see that it is populated with valuable content from a company that is active and valuable to its audience. So that's a really quick insight into what Flintt can do and how it actually transcends and translates into your social media as well as onto your emails. Now, who's ready to have a go and play around with Flintt themselves? Yeah, come on, guys, it's going to be fun. All right, so what we're going to do is I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to ask you to follow along. So first, I'd like you all to go to app.flintt.com.au. I'm going to pop it into the chat so that you guys can jump straight on there. It is a big time save for virtual assistants, Jeff. We have been speaking to virtual assistants as well as marketing people, just like Sarah, to be able to save them time and really be able to get the content out there. Funnily enough, Pilar, who is here, say hi, Pilar. Pilar is actually our assistant, virtual assistant. She's been leveraging Flintt for the last, well, since she started. How's it going for you, Pilar?
It's going great. And I really love the photos that it generates. And it's easy because it automatically changes the content from your blog. So it's quick, very quick.
There you go. So Jeff, you are right. It is a big time saver. All right. So guys, head over to this link here. And I'm going to share with you the content that you can pop in here. And I'm literally going to walk along with you to get you started. So let's first of all set you up. So once you hit that app.flintt.com.au, it's going to get you to this login. What I'd like you to do is click sign up with Flintt. Ooh, I'm going to log out. And fill out your details here. Now, as I said, nobody has to pay for anything. It really is going to get you to just learn and see how Flintt works. Agree to the terms and conditions and click sign up. Now, what will happen is Flintt's going to send you a verification email. All you'll need to do is you'll need to head over to your emails, click on the email that's been sent to you. And it will bring you to these 4 steps right here. So these are our first 4 onboarding steps to get you using Flintt effectively. So as I mentioned, step number 1 is all around configuring your branding. Now, to make this easier, I have pre-created a fairly generic logo, which I'm going to pop into the chat. So in the chat, there is a logo called your.png. You can download that, and then we can configure our branding. So grab the logo from the chat and play along. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to set up our brand here. So we're going to go choose file, and in that choose file, we're going to choose the logo that I just popped into the chat. It's a very generic logo, and it makes it easier for us to get through this particular section of our webinar and get you guys to play around without having to think too much about how does your brand look and where are you going to get your logo from and how you're going to set up your colors, etc. So let me know once you've popped in your logo into this section here. Just maybe pop into the chat, give me a thumbs up. Hello, Ruby. Thank you for joining us. I hope you jumped on a bit late. So if you have any questions, please do pop them into the chat. And also for everybody else, if you're not going to play along, just let me know that I'm not playing along in the chat, just so that I know not to check in with you guys on how you are progressing. On the verification email. It should come through straight away, Sarah. Will be one that just says Flintt verify email address. Great, Jeffrey, we got yours come through. Sarah, maybe you never received the email either. And then Jeffrey, you did because yours came through as a registration. Maybe just try to go through that process one more time. Oh, great. No questions for now. Thanks, Ruby. Oh. All right. I'm not sure why that is. So, Ian, what were you saying?
It just came through then. In fact, two of them came
Okay,
through,
great.
so just a bit of delay. So what do I press on it?
Oh, went to junk. Just click verify email. It will look like.
Okay.
Will look like that, and you just need to click the verify email button. Great. All right. All right, that will bring you to our very first dashboard screen. So the dashboard screen will look like this once you verified your email. That work for you both? Ian, Sarah, yep. Not yet, Ian?
I clicked the link, but nothing seems to have happened. So yeah, I don't want to slow it.
Go back into the app.flintt.com.au and just use your login details that you've just created.
Okay.
Thanks, Jeff. Is the Business Gurus your business? Yes, correct. Thank you for sharing. You there? It's not working for you, Ian.
No, just go without it. I'm getting invalid signature. I tried copying and pasting the URL into the browser. Yeah, I passed. So just keep going.
All right. That's okay. We'll organize a one-on-one session and get you there. Sarah, how are you going? You're fine? All right, great. So we're going to go into this configure branding section here. And inside this configure branding section, as I said, download your PNG here and go upload it into your brand here. Then what we're going to do is we're going to scroll down to where it says choose your colors. We're going to leverage the colors that are in your logo to then set up these colors here. So if you click on the color palette, you can then click on the little pipette and select the brown from the Y. Then you can go to select the background color again, go to the pipette and select this lighter brown here. For your primary font color, we're going to use this lighter color here. We want to make sure that our primary font color is different to our primary background color so that we've got a contrast. And then we're going to choose a secondary font color. Generally, we'll just use a dark color for this. Now, the reason we do that is what it'll do is it'll help us create these information here. So what will happen is that your logo will sit here, and then these colors here will match the colors that you are choosing for your brand colors. Once you've got the colors set up, then we head down to this section here where we set up our business information. The purpose again of setting this up is two parts. Number one is so that your social media images have your branding and your social media handles on them. So if anybody chooses to use or reuse your images, those images are branded with your content and your brand colors rather than generic, and therefore they can't be stolen. And people, if they want to use them, they will be promoting your brand rather than their own brand with your images. The other reason we do this is because this information also goes inside of your social media posts and your emails. So we're going to fill this information out here, and we're just going to put in some details in here. So business email, your Facebook handles, your social, your Instagram handles, your LinkedIn page, and then a bit of an email signature here. I like to put in a bit of a call to action or a bit of a positioning line, and then a bit of information along with regards, and then your content here. So I might say something like, keep building your reputation and revenue. And then we will go look forward to connecting soon, and then we might put in our email and maybe our website. And that way you've got a call to action at the end of your emails as well as in your social media posts. And finally, choosing 5 to 10 hashtags that align with your business. Once you've completed this section, you can go up here, you can choose a different template. So we've got a whole range of different templates on how they will repurpose for your brand. And then once you're done, you basically click update branding. All right. So that's how we set up our branding. The next thing we do is we need to connect our social media accounts, import our contacts, and set up our payments. However, to make this process faster so you can really experience what Flintt is like before you start to sign up and connect your social media accounts, etc., what you can do is you can go here to skip step and create your campaign. There's a little green box over here. Can you see that, Sarah? Yep, great. So if we head over to skip here, we're going to straight to this start a new campaign section. If we click in here, this is essentially created for a blog or an article repurpose campaign, and it will take you to this content form. If you would like to get a bit more information about how to write a good blog, how to write introductions, or getting some good titles, you can check out our blogs here. But what I'm going to do is I've actually pre-prepared a blog on how to write a good blog. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and paste this information over, and I'm also going to pop it into the meeting chat here. So for those that are following along, if you want to copy and paste, it's going to make life a bit easier for you as well. We're going to start off with the title. I'm going to put the title in the chat here, and then I'm going to copy and paste the title into the blog article here. And I'm going to head over and put in our introductory paragraph, put it in the chat. and also pop it into Flintt. And we're basically going to continue to do this process. Now, the way that this content form, as I mentioned, has been set up is in a way to empower you to write good blogs. Blogs should always be written with titles and subtitles, with some dot points and some white space around them. And so the content form is specifically created to support our users in writing good content. So this is where you can start your content creation, or where you can move to leveraging your current blogs and popping that information into the Flintt campaigns. So our subheading number 2 over here. Copy and paste this information into the chat and also into Flintt. Subheading number 3. And guys, for those who are learning how to write good content, you can literally take the information that's in the chat here and show that to your teams if you've got a team that needs some more information on how to effectively write good content. There we go. And we're going to add in our conclusion here. And this conclusion has a bit of a call to action in it. I'm going to pop that into the conclusion section here. Then we're going to select all contacts. So Sarah, if you're playing along, I want to wait for you to pop that information in, or at least put in some test content into the form so that you can actually see it repurpose here. What you will need to do is you'll need to, at a minimum, select all contacts, otherwise it won't propagate for you, even though we don't have any contacts updated at the moment. So once you've filled out this form, and as you can see, if all you're doing is recreating a blog, that's taken us about 12 minutes or so to copy and paste the information. But obviously, if you're writing it and it's taking a bit more time for you to write it, you can start writing it here because it gives you a good step-by-step on how to write the blog. Or alternatively, you can write it in your blogging platform and then obviously copy it across. Now, once you've filled this out, what you'll need to do is scroll down to the bottom. You can choose your image source background. We're using a open source images. You can also add your own images here, which will go popped into the background of our templates. And then you basically click Start Campaign. Whoa. I have no idea what that is. We seem to have encountered an error here. You're getting the same error. Okay, I'm going to have to go back to our tech team. I'm really sorry. That's never happened before. I don't know what that even means, but we have just updated this content form today to make it more leading in the way that it actually repurposes and updates some of this content. So there might be something in the air with our campaigns. However, what it should do is essentially repurpose that campaign as, log in here. Essentially repurpose that campaign, as I showed you guys earlier, to help create images that align with your content. So if we're looking at the copy that we've just entered into the content form, which is how to write a good blog, what we can see is that it's Ours have already been posted, so it's difficult to show you how to edit that campaign. So what it will do is it will, again, utilize your subheadings and your content here to create an email communication. So what will happen is the title and all the information that you've just put into the content form is going to be placed into an email for you. It's going to add your sign off on there. You can have a read through it. It's automatically scheduled to go out at 10 a.m. on the 21st of the 1st. And if you're happy with it, you can set it to send. Or if you want to edit some of the details, you can remove some of the spaces. You might want to change this to hey instead of dear. You may want to add a different call to action at the end. And then once you're happy with it, you can send yourself a test email. You can update your email communication. Once you're ready, you basically click to release on schedule and it is ready to go and to be sent to your database. Next thing it'll do is it will create what I said was an automated title post here. So again, you can head on here and you can have a look at this. It will give you the date, the time across multiple platforms. Again, all of this can be edited to align with what you think might be best, but it has been pre-developed to go at times when people are on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. It's now created a post that's got your heading and your introductory paragraph on here, as well as your sign off and call to action with some images here, as well as other images that have been pre-created by Flintt using the Flintt logo, the Flintt social media handles, as well as the Flintt colors that we have chosen. Once you're happy with that, you can basically click update social media post, and whatever is visible here is what's going to go out. If for some reason you have decided that you are not happy with either the images or the creative or the template you've chosen to use, it's quite easy to jump in here to change from the template that's there to a different template, change your source library to maybe your media library, and then basically regenerate the campaign. So what it's going to do is it's going to what we call propagate or repropagate the campaign, and it's going to then rearrange that information on the new template using the media library images, which we have uploaded. And so then what you'll see is if we go in here and click on this part here, it's now used our Flintt background images. It's changed the template to flow and has republished all of those campaigns using a different template as well as different images. So it gives you quite a bit of freedom as well as pre-creating strategy to make it easy for you to get your content out there and have it visible. Are there any questions from anybody about how Flintt works, about what else can be done? Yes, Ian.
So first a comment. So the thing went to the verification went to junk, and it wouldn't. I missed the message. It was saying it wouldn't allow me to. This stopped all the links working while it was in junk. I had to move the email over into inbox to make it work. So other people may have that issue.
Thank you, Ian. That's really good feedback.
Okay. Now the question around email. So do you copy your so in my case, Outlook email addresses into Flintt?
Yeah.
And does Flintt then become the database of record, if you like? So as new email addresses are created, you don't create them in Outlook, you create them in Flintt?
Yes, that's what it's been created to do for those, especially for people that aren't currently leveraging a really solid CRM.
Right.
If you do have a,
Okay. Is someone like there's an unsubscribe option, should be. If they unsubscribe, does that automatically update Flintt?
Yes. So if they unsubscribe, it will automatically update in the back end of Flintt. And we're actually adding a button here. I literally spoke to our tech team this morning, which will show you all your unsubscribed contacts.
Right.
So you can see who has unsubscribed.
Right. Now, is there any volume constraint on the number of emails that can be sent in one go?
Yep, good question. So it's not about a number of emails, but what we have done, we've got two-tier options for payments. So our first tier is your personal brand campaign, which gives you up to 2,000 contacts. And then which is $19.99. And then you've got your $19. Then you've got your $39, which is the business plan, which gives you 10,000 contacts and unlimited campaigns. Whereas with your $19, you have one campaign per month. So essentially with a $19 plan, you fill out one of these and it will last for 30 days. And so over 30 days, it initially will give you an opportunity to post once a week and send out up to 3 emails. If you go onto the business campaign, you have unlimited campaigns to send out. So then you can really juggle whether you want to do like a blog style or you want to leverage other type of content.
Okay. Now, I'm new to Outlook, but my understanding is Outlook has some volume constraints as well around group emails and things like that. So I don't know how Flintt works with Outlook, but is it possible that there's going to be, even though Flintt allows whatever the quantity is, that then hits a constraint within Outlook?
Flintt is backed by Mailgun, so it's a different email marketing platform. So it has nothing to do with your Outlook.
Okay.
So
Right.
Flintt
Okay.
has its own email marketing platform that is inside of Flintt, and it will only be constrained by the Flintt constraints. However, as I mentioned, we are looking to API Flintt into people's CRM. So if you do have a CRM that is currently really working for you in your business, we don't want to take over that. So you can API into your CRM and then it will track your contacts based on your CRM rather than the Flintt backend. Good questions, Ian. Sarah, anything coming up for you? And what about your thoughts? Thoughts, ideas?
None at the moment. I probably need to have a little play with it first though.
Great. All right. No worries at all. And we'll make sure that that is working as well. All right. What about anybody else? Jeff, Ruby, how are you guys going? Questions, comments? You're using, so the basic difference between HubSpot is that HubSpot doesn't actually create the content for you. So HubSpot will post the content, but it won't create the images and repurpose the copy and pre-schedule it. So at the moment, for any form of social media scheduling tools, you still need to create the content, write the content, repurpose the content, and then upload it into a scheduling tool. And then it will take it out there and it will track it and report on it. And there's some really great tools for those things out there. But we've really developed this to simplify that marketing process. Good question, Ruby. Anybody else? All right, well, if there's no questions, I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you so much for spending an hour with me. I will be sharing this recording with you so that you guys can look back at home and follow along. And I'll also send an update as soon as our content form no longer sends out a random error, which is unfortunate for this particular demo, but you know, we are a new company and we're really out there to help simplify online marketing for our users. And we're going to continue to add greater usability so that we can really make it a simple one-step process to get your content out there. Thanks guys so much. Have a lovely, lovely day. And I'm sure I'll be in contact with you all soon. Thank you. I'll definitely share the recording. Thank you. Bye everybody.